And then with the whole friends with benefits thing, so basically the girls are, it seems like they have decided that the whole issue is not the fact that she had a friends with benefits, but the fact that she put him on pause and was planning to return back to that relationship after leaving the show. And again, I'm on Cassidy's side with this. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I think that a whole boyfriend, obviously being in a whole serious committed relationship, that you're like, oh, I'm gonna break up with you now, but we can pick back up where we left off if I don't get engaged. That would be an issue, and that's a whole separate thing. But that wasn't the case. So to me, it's kind of like, okay, it seems like their problem. I don't even validate the problem because it's not valid to me. But it seems like if I were to validate it, their problem lies in the fact that she put it on pause and was willing to go back to the same person after getting eliminated from the show. And so to me, that begs the question of, okay, let's say I'm a contestant on The Bachelor. I hook up with person A prior to going on to the show. I cut it off because I'm like, oh, I'm going on The Bachelor. I might get engaged, this, that, and the third. I don't get engaged. I come back. Since I cut off person A, I'm like, well, I'm not engaged. So I'm still a single woman. I'm free to do as I want. I initiate with person B and I strike up a casual friends with benefits with person B. Like, what is the difference between having someone on pause who's casual and returning back to that casual relationship versus cutting off someone and then starting up something with someone new? It's not making sense. It's not adding up. And my thing is like, these girls, I can guarantee you none of these girls are like, oh, since I've met The Bachelor and lost, I'm now going to be celibate. I'm now not going to look at another man until I'm sure he's my husband. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why does it matter what she as a single woman is doing with her time after getting eliminated from The Bachelor? Like, Cassidy was making points. She said, you know, if I had gotten engaged, I would have called old dude and said, hey, I'm engaged. We can't see each other anymore. But also, if the sex is good, I'm not going to cut it off for a guy that I don't even know. And to me, that makes complete sense. Like, it's just not adding up. And I feel like the girls are they're targeting what they can because they're mad at how she played the game. And so they're conflating their discomforts with the fact that she's so comfortable in her sexuality, the fact that she's so comfortable in how she carried herself and did things that the other girls honestly might have wanted to do. They might have wanted to be making out with Clayton. They might have wanted to have that super physical spark with him, and they didn't. And so they're identifying the only thing that they can, you know, find to be a problem and conflating all of those issues to hide what in reality sounds like insecurity and jealousy. And what's more, I feel like a lot of these girls, it felt very much like everyone was just ganging up on her and everyone was kind of, I felt like we were in an echo chamber and everyone's like, yeah, like you had this friends with benefits back home and like that's wrong and da-da-da, and everyone was just kind of like feeding off on each other. And at one point Cassidy makes a point and she's like, you know, honestly I thought we were past this. She doesn't identify what this is, but to me I interpreted that as, number one, past the situation, and number two, past in society, past a place in which we're judging women for what they do in their private sex lives. And I feel like a lot of these women seem like very strong, independent women. And I feel like had you asked them either individually, what do you think of Cassidy's situation, or anonymously, so if you had presented them with the information with the name redacted, like if you didn't say, hey, what do you think of Cassidy's situation, but if you had said, hey, what do you think about a girl having a friends with benefits that she comes back to after the show, like just make it like just presenting the facts, I feel like 9 times out of the 10, most of the girls would not have a problem with it. And so I feel like it was just one of those situations where they're all in a room together. They're all feeding off of each other. They're all, feeling a type of way about this girl that did what she came to do. And it was just escalated into something that it really didn't even need to be. It was not that deep. And it was just very unfortunate to see. I feel like so many seasons of The Bachelor in particular thrive off of women tearing each other down in a way that we don't see the male contestants do on The Bachelorette. And I hate that this trend is continuing, and we're villainizing and giving attention to people that aren't even villains. Like, you want to tear Shanae down? We'll get to that in a second. But if you want to tear Shanae down, okay. Like, she deserves it. But Cassidy, not so much. So let's redirect that energy. But let me know in the comments, what did you think of how Cassidy handled herself on the show, how she handled herself at the Women Tell All, the whole friends with benefits scenario? Tell me all of it. I want to hear your thoughts. If you want more where that came from, be sure to check out my full recap, which will pop up on the screen.